Well, hello, guys, and welcome back to this beautiful, magical Monday. It's already dark, but I will show you my view in a minute because it is amazing, as always. But I want to talk today about why I remember the number 314-322-2222. And so I'm going to go ahead and change it around so you can see the beautiful view, and I'll explain. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. All right, so let me go ahead and explain why I still remember the number 314-322-2222. That is actually the number that I used to dial when I lived in St. Louis, Missouri, and I was in school. That was the number you call in order to find out what the time and weather was for the day. So obviously, it was before iPhones and all that good stuff. So if I wanted to know what the weather was for the day, that is the number I called. I dialed it countless times to know what the temperature was before I left the house to go to school. And what's interesting is I just dialed the number today just to make sure it's still active. And of course, that number is still active, handy and dandy for those who want to call a number to find out what the time and temperature is. And so it got me to thinking about the power of habits. It got me thinking about the power of habits. Hey, Eric. Hey, Kenneth. How are you guys? Welcome to this beautiful Monday at the beach, enjoying the sunset with me. And so it got me to thinking about habits. And I became obsessed with habits probably a few years ago. More than that, but I really started going deep a few years ago because I wanted to know why they're so compelling. I wanted to know why a perfectly sane and smart person would get up at midnight and start eating out of a gallon ice cream jug. I wanted to know why somebody who's uber successful in business, uber successful when it comes to their purpose, would struggle tremendously when it comes to committing to their health and wellness goals. I wanted to know what was so powerful about habits, how you can break habits, how you can make habits. How does it work? What's the simplest way to break a bad habit? What's the simplest way to start a new habit? Okay? So, what happens is there is a 4 habit loophole when it comes to each and every habit. 4 habit loophole. And I'm going to tell you what those 4 points are. And it will change your life as it relates to your habits. It will cause you to know why it's hard for you to stop a bad habit, such as smoking, abusing alcohol, maybe abusing pornography, maybe constantly lusting after the opposite sex, or constantly desiring sweets, or constantly sabotaging your diet, constantly ignoring your promptings to go to the gym, constantly ignoring your thoughts that says, go approach that girl and ask her out. Go approach that guy and let him know you're interested, or whatever. So if you're constantly being plagued by either bad habits or constantly being sabotaged when you try to start good habits, this is the freaking live stream for you. Oh my gosh, it feels really good out here, but my feet are in the water and the water is so cold. Oh my gosh, like, it feels good, but the water is freaking cold. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So if my voice starts shivering, that's what's going on. If my voice starts shivering, that's why. Okay. So I dialed 314-322-2222 many times, hundreds of times. And now, as an adult, I've not dialed that number to find out what the weather was. I've not dialed that number in at least 15 years. So why do I still remember the number by heart? Because at this point, it was a habit for so long that at this point, it is stored in my subconscious. Anything that's stored in your subconscious does not require you to consciously think about it. It is forever there. That is why if you've not been on a bike for 15 years, it doesn't matter. You could get on it today and you'll still take off and do well because it's a habit. And the action is stored in your subconscious. And so you can do it. You can ride a bike, chew bubble gum, talk to a friend on the phone, and think about what you're going to make for dinner all in the same 5-second span. Easily. So how can we get that habit mechanism to work for us in other things? How can we get that habit mechanism to work for us like riding a bike? How can we start a habit and make it stick? How can we stop a habit and make it stick? Some people can stop a habit, but then they succumb to the habit again a year later or 3 months later or even a week later. And then guess what they feel like? They feel like a freaking loser. They feel like a failure because they feel like it's their fault that they are the ones without willpower, and that is why they can't stick to the habit. So, there's only 2 ways you can create a habit. Number 1 is through repetition. Number 2 is through intensity. Let me say that again. Number 1 is through repetition. Number 2 is through intensity. Those are the only 2 ways that you can create a habit. Now, how do you start the habit loop? Those 4 points that I was telling you about. How do you start a habit loop? What do those 4 pieces or components of the puzzle entail? Number 1 is you have a cue. You have a cue. You have a cue. You have a cue. If you put your shoes next to your bed, your workout shoes next to your bed tonight, that means you are using those shoes as a cue to prompt you to work out tomorrow morning. Let me say that again, baby, because I'm giving you all some juicy paid client type information today. If you were to set those shoes out next to your bed, oh my gosh, it's so cold. Okay, guys, I may have to wrap this up. Oh my gosh. Okay, where was I? If you were to set those shoes next to your bed to prompt you to go work out in the morning, that might work for some people. It may not work for other people. If you put all the stuff in your blender the night before and put the blender in the fridge and say, I'm going to use this as a prompt to help me to make a green smoothie in the morning. I'm going to put everything in it the night before, and I'm going to use it to cue me to make this smoothie in the morning. It's going to help me. That may work for some people. That may not work for other people. So what you choose as your cue is important, because there's different. You can cue up anything. You can say, I'm going to set my workout clothes right next to my bed. Hey, you can even take it to the next level and say, I'm going to go to sleep in my workout clothes. I'm going to go to sleep in my workout clothes, so that in the morning, that is a cue for me to go work out first thing in the morning. You may use your alarm clock as a cue. I'm going to set my alarm clock for 5 in the morning so I can go and work out before I go to work. And you're setting that alarm clock as a cue. What's the next step after you have a cue? A cue will lead you to a trigger or a behavior. Okay? So now that cue, whatever it was, let's say those workout clothes, it triggers you to have a certain behavior. That's what you're wanting it to do. And then that leads to step 3. Now you have the motivation or desire to actually do it. And then that leads you to the last step, which is it prompts you to take action. There's actually another step, which is the satisfaction of reward. But let's just stop there. Let's stop there. I feel like I'm giving you guys I feel like I'm giving a big, fat, juicy 5-course meal to a newborn right now. And I know everybody is not a newborn. There's some people on here that they're following me very well. And there's some people on here and they're like, what? What? So one of the reasons I created the my motivational bracelet, it's actually a motivational bracelet and a habit and mindset reprogramming bracelet, is because it has all 4 components of the habit loop attached to it. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Let's go ahead and stay with exercise, because exercise is one of my 12 points. That's part of the 12-point supercharged daily actions or daily habits for the bracelet. So exercise is one of them. So when you wake up, you see the bracelet, that is your cue. The second component is now you're triggered to have a certain behavior, which takes you to number 3, which you're motivated. You have a desire to do it. And then last but not least, you actually take action and you do get a reward, because now you get to take your rocket ship and put it to the left of the letter S. S represents 1 point. So now you just checked off, tallied off one of the 12 points of the day. And it makes you feel freaking good. You feel good that you were motivated to do it. The bracelet has something for every one of the 4 personality types. One of the personality types is motivated by fun. So the bracelet is fun because it has game science attached to it. The second personality type is motivated by reward. You get the reward, instant gratification of seeing yourself move the rocket ship over a point. Number 3, the third motivation type are people who are motivated by helping themselves. Self-care. They love to do something for themselves. They love to see that they're operating in self-development and they're making themselves a priority. So it satisfies that person who's motivated by helping themselves. And then last but not least, the 4th main personality type is the person that's motivated by order and routine and having something that they get to check off or tally off every single day. And so that person is motivated because they're like, bam, that's the type of person that loves daily planning and checklists and things like that. They love to make sure they feel so accomplished when they're able to check something off the list. And that's that 4th personality type. So the bracelet gives rewards to every single one of the personality types. What's funny is it took me 7 years to come up with the bracelet as a tool. I tried other tools in the past, and one of the tools I tried in the past was online software. So I would go online and I would check everything off after completion online. And that only appeals to the motivation type that's motivated by order and routine. That's not my motivation. I am motivated by fun. If something is not fun, I don't want any parts of it. If something is not fun to me, I do not want any parts of it. That's just my motivational type. I'm motivated by freaking fun. Bring it on, baby. Bring on the fun or I'm out. So the bracelet is awesome because it has all 4 components for the 4 main personality types. So everybody gets what they need. That's an intrinsic need. We're not talking about an extrinsic need. We're talking about you're wired that way, okay? That means you're wired a certain way. Thank you, Eric. Eric says, I am enjoying this. Yeah, habits are fascinating. It truly is fascinating. But Eric, I will say for you, I recommend that you do not get my supercharged bracelet, because I will be coming out with a line for men, and you'll like that a lot better. So, and that will be soon. That will be like in the next 2.5 weeks. So when those come out, when I come out with the collection for men, then you want to hop on that. You'll love it. It'll change your life, because now things that you struggle with at first, now you're doing them every single day. 12 daily habits. You're doing all 12 every day. And what you'll notice is the more you get up higher, the more you get, the closer you get to the end of supercharged, which is the closer you get to the end of the 12 points, the better you feel every day. You'll notice that. You'll notice that when you only get 3 points in a day, you feel like crap. You don't draw anything to you that you want that day. You don't draw any good thoughts. You don't draw any good experiences. You feel like crap, and your reality is like crap. And then you'll also, on the flip side, notice that the closer you are to accomplishing all 12 of those for the day, and most of the activities require 4 minutes. So we all have 4 minutes. And you'll notice the closer you get to 12, the more alive you feel, the more supercharged you feel. Nobody will be able to knock you off your freaking high horse, because you will be up there on cloud 9 all day long and still sleep like a baby at night. Because that's what I do every night. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk to people who struggle with sleep, because I've never had a problem with sleep. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. Okay, night, lights out, good night. I don't have any tossing and turning. I'm not waking up a million times throughout the night. I feel amazing when it comes to my sleep. So the last thing that I want to say about habits, guys, is a lot of times we get frustrated because of our bad habits, and we're like, why does it seem like no matter what we do, we cannot let go of this bad habit? But I want you to start getting excited about your bad habits, because your bad habits are proof that once you create a habit, it'll be locked in for a long time. It could be locked in for life. I highly doubt I'll ever forget 314-321-2222. I highly doubt I'll ever forget that number. It's locked in, baby. It's locked in. It is locked in. So now it's a part of my DNA, so to speak. It's a part of literally the neural activity of my brain. It's stored. It has its own filing system in my brain. There's nothing that I can do to get rid of 314-321-2222. I'll know it forever. I'll know how to ride a bike forever. I'll know how to walk forever. As long as I'm healthy, I'll be able to walk. Why? Because that is a part of my essence, DNA, physical, and anatomical DNA now. It's a part of me, basically, is what I'm saying. Now it's a part of me. So there's no way I can get rid of it. So be thankful for those bad habits, because those bad habits proved to you, that this works. That through repetition, it becomes locked in. 30 days, it's glued in. 60 days, the neurons start to fire together. 90 days, the neurons and the habits start to wire together. And once they're wired together, it will take a freaking lightning bolt to try to break through it. That's how deep that bad boy is stored within the subconscious. That's it, guys. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you for joining me on this Monday. It got really dark. We can't see diddly squat out here. Well, you guys can't see anything. It's so dark. Look at this. It's really dark. Obviously, it gets dark sooner now. And so it's really dark, but it feels so good. And let me tell you what's funny. I was screaming like a baby earlier because the water was so cold. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome, guys. Listen. I was screaming when I first got here because the water was so cold. And now I have my feet in the water right now. And isn't it interesting that I stopped screaming? Why did I stop screaming? I stopped screaming because the habitual repetition of the waves hitting my feet, hitting my ankles over and over and over again throughout this live stream caused me to get used to it. And so no longer was it uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, I couldn't have planned that any better. And so that's the same thing that's going to happen with your habits. When you first start, it may feel uncomfortable. It may not even feel like you. It may not feel like you. Like, these aren't my normal habits. Who is this person taking over my body? But after it leaves that phase of being uncomfortable, and it doesn't take long, then you get used to it. Just like now I'm used to these waves, and I'm not cold anymore. And that's what'll happen to you. You'll just get used to it. And it'll be part of your new reality, or what I like to say, part of your new paradigm. The new you, baby. The supercharged you. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, guys, until next time, R3 for life. What does that stand for? Reverse, retrain, rebuild your body and mind. Eric says, you're welcome, and I'll be moving to Sarasota, Florida in March. Oh my gosh, you're moving to Sarasota. How many hours is that away from where you are now? Because I know you're in Florida already, so how many hours is Sarasota from where you live now? Okay, so I don't see a response, so I'll check back later in the comments in case you left the building. All right, guys, until next time, R3 for life. Reverse, retrain, rebuild your body and mind.